Hey, it's Sherisse Marie. I'm a little bit early, but that's okay. Woo-hoo. I want to talk today about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to give people a few minutes to jump on, and then I'm going to dive right into it. We're talking about doormats today because it's been a while since I talked to you guys about being a doormat and how to actually get the things that you want out of life, how to get the respect, the admiration, the affection that you know you deserve without having to stress about it, feel a lot of anxiety, struggle, argue, fight. Let's not fight for the respect, admiration, and affection that you deserve. Let's just receive it like the queen you deserve to be. Okay? You deserve to not be a doormat. It's funny because this is all about boundaries, ladies. And I was talking to a former client earlier today, and she's like, you know what? I'm working on my boundaries. I'm not quite there yet. I feel like I'm at the next level. I'm up leveling. It's amazing. And I'm so nervous about it. And I thought, oh, if you're nervous about it, then it's probably time for us to have a conversation here in the group again about how to hold your boundaries without losing your mind. Okay, so if this sounds interesting to you, drop a comment down below and we'll dive into it. Okay, so I have some notes here, so just be kind to me as I read through my notes, okay? Um, so this is for those of you who feel like a doormat, who feel like you don't get the respect that you deserve. You feel like you're bending over backwards to make everybody else happy, and you are struggling and suffering and feeling like crap. You feel like you need to earn love, respect, acceptance, admiration. Ugh. You feel like you're walking on eggshells with a lot of people, maybe, and you're distracting yourself. You're distracting yourself with food or music or obsession with things or video games or something, television. You're making yourself feel better externally without making yourself feel better internally, and not by actually getting the things that you want, which are respect, admiration, affection, on your terms. You want to be treated the way that you deserve to be treated. So maybe you're struggling with your job, maybe you're struggling with your friends and family, maybe your partner is making you crazy or your kids are making you crazy, and you're feeling a little overwhelmed and lonely and frustrated, and you feel like, you know how I'm talking about that upward spiral all the time? You feel like you're going downwards. So if this is you, and you feel really, really, really freaking alone, let's talk about how to stop the chaos. The secret key that I know that you have also been told, but maybe you forgot, to being treated with respect and kindness. How to shift all that garbage in your head and that negativity, that negative voice that your inner child is whispering at you, into confidence and inner peace. And how to have big, scary conversations with other people without freaking out. And doing all of this while living a life that makes you happy, that fills you with joy. Even if you haven't thought about being filled with joy, it's time for you to be filled with joy. You deserve some joy in your life, damn it. You deserve to feel confident and love yourself. So let's master your life, meet your needs in a healthy way, feel valued, respected, and more confident within yourself. And get those things for yourself too, right? Where you feel like you value yourself, you respect yourself, you have self confidence, you have love for yourself. That is really a powerful, powerful one. Let's learn how to speak up and really just set yourself up for a life that you don't have to escape from, a life that you actually love to live. Zest for life, feeling that zest for life, and just being in that upward spiral, because the downward spiral sucks. And we want to make the upward spiral. We want to go up. So you guys know who I am. You know what I do. You've heard me talk about it a million times. You've seen my clients thinking like that I'm amazing and walk on water. Maybe I am, and maybe I do. I don't know. You might have to come to a retreat with us one day and find out. Ooh. Once COVID is over, I'm planning another retreat. Just so you know, we're trying to decide where we want to go first, though. The bunch of us. There's a bunch of us that want to do this. So maybe we'll go to Mexico and see Vicky, or to Sedona and visit the energy vortex that's there. There's an energy vortex on Vancouver Island that I freaking love going to every chance that I get. Maybe we'll go there. There's a vortex here in the mountains. I don't know. We'll go somewhere where there's some fun energy stuff going on. I'm pretty sure there's some fun energy stuff going on down in Mexico somewhere too. And we'll have some fun with it. So mark that on your calendar. When COVID is over and we're allowed to travel again, we're going to go do that. Okay, so let's talk about boundaries, because boundaries are something that a lot of people get really confused by boundaries. They really do. And you don't have to, and you really shouldn't. So boundaries are where your responsibility ends and another person's begins. They are all about not letting other people do things to you that you don't want to have done to you. And they're about allowing other people to face the consequences of their behavior instead of enabling to avoid the consequences. At the end of the day, boundaries, in my opinion, are communication tools. They are something that we use to let people know what is important to us and what isn't important to us. Now, over in the inner circle, we have been working on boundaries and knowing what our boundaries are for a while now. We've been having fun with it because each month we dive into a different topic, really, really deep. And so we've talked about boundaries a couple of different times in different contexts. For example, knowing your core values is really important to boundaries, because if you don't know what's important to you, how do you know what your boundaries are? We talk about boundaries in the context of communication. How do I speak the words that involve that are, what I want? How do I hold those boundaries by speaking the words? We do a bunch of other really, really cool things. We've tied it into a whole bunch of different topics. So if you're not over in the inner circle, you need to be, okay? And you need to set boundaries just at the end of the day. Boundaries are about giving yourself control over your life and giving yourself permission to give yourself control over your life. It's boundaries are the edge between where your wants and desires meet someone else's wants and desires. And unless your other person is 5 or under, your wants and desires are more important. Full stop. Period. That's it. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they got going on. You matter more to you. Here's the big secret, guys. You are the only person that you are going to spend 24 hours a day with, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year for the rest of your life. You are the only person who has spent that much time with you going to this point. You are the only person that really, truly matters in this life to you. Now, other people might be important, but you are the most important because you're the only you that you're ever going to talk to. You're the only one with the angel and the devil yipping in your ears. You're the only one that is truly who you need to be in this moment. You're the only person that is going to be your true, honest to God, either your best friend or your worst enemy for the rest of your life. Which one do you want it to be? As they say in The Princess Bride, choose wisely. Do you want to be your best friend? Do you want to be your worst enemy? Clear boundaries are so incredibly important. So, how do we get them? Okay. Um, Number one, stop living in chaos. Okay, what happens is when we don't have really good boundaries, our life feels really chaotic. Our life feels very uncertain and unsettled because we are always at everyone else's mercy. We are always waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're always waiting for someone else to decide for us what's actually important to us. And that is no way to live because that's how resentment is built up. That is how unhappiness is built up. That is how you end up losing your sense of self, and you deserve more. You deserve to feel confident and happy and joy filled in your life. And if you don't, it's time to really think about why that is. Okay. And now, one of the big tools for this is recognizing the chaos and then changing your perspective about yourself and the things that are going on in your life. Really, it's about remembering that nothing is permanent, first off, and then focusing on the things that you can control. What can you do today to create a different outcome tomorrow? Now, that is a tall order. I will give you that that can be a very tall order. But remember what I say. This is not about making enormous, giant leaps. This is about making little, teeny, tiny shifts that lead to enormous changes, absolutely, but that don't feel scary and intimidating and overwhelming in the moment. These are about little, tiny things where you took control over one little thing. And then you took control over one other little thing. And then you took control over a third little thing, but you didn't do them all at once, and you did them as it felt right for you. Now, I can blow sunshine up your butt all day, but I'm not gonna. It can be really terrifying to do this. Um, and the next thing that I'm going to tell you is even scarier. If someone is really toxic, you need to learn to recognize when they're about to be the most toxic and either change the conversation or walk away. And you need to really decide if those toxic people actually need to be in your life or not. Now, that is a big, scary conversation. Um, 99% of the time, you decide to keep them in your life. Absolutely. And that's okay. You're allowed to. You're allowed to make that decision for yourself. But you need to know that you're allowed to make the other decision too. You are allowed to cut people out of your life. You don't have to keep toxic humans around just because you were born in that family or something like that. At the end of the day, if someone isn't feeding your soul, then why are they there? Are they there to teach you a lesson? Did you learn it already? If you did, please move on. If you haven't yet, what's holding you back? Please learn your lesson and stop, okay? Um, Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is okay, being more assertive, claiming your worth, saying no. Um, the thing that I tell my clients all the time about this is start small and work your way up. Stop being afraid and start feeling safe to tell people what you actually want. Start feeling like you have, that you matter, that you deserve to have a voice and that your voice deserves to be heard. Now, the flip side of this is taking radical responsibility for yourself. How do I feel about myself and my situation right now? How do I feel about the people in my life? What have I really gone through? Let's be honest with ourselves and say the things that we have actually done and the things that we've actually gone through. Because a lot of people, they hide things. We hide behind a facade, even within our own head. We hide within a facade of, well, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't that. And then, 20 years later, we're in therapy and we have a big breakthrough. And guess what the big breakthrough is? It was that, and it was that bad. And we, rather than processing it, what did we do? We stuffed it down deep and hoped that it would go away on its own. Guess what? That never really works. Now, I talked about core values before, but it's really important to know what's actually important to you. Because if you don't know what's really important to you, how do you know what your boundaries are? If you don't know what's really important to you, your boundaries are probably flip-flopping all over the place. Today you'll put up with anything, tomorrow you're going to be grumpy and you're not going to put up with anything. The next day you're going to put up with some things and not put up with other things. And that's really hard on both you and the other people around you. If your boundaries are firm and you know what's truly important to you, you're going to be communicating them on a regular basis in a way that gets other people's respect, because you're not going to be flip-flopping. They're not going to be no if they come up to you. They're going to know if they come up to you with X problem, the exact same response is going to happen every time. Whereas what's happening right now, probably if you don't have great boundaries, is they come up to you with X problem, and today you're going to deal with it. Tomorrow you're going to give them some advice. The next day you're going to do a different approach. And then the day after that, you're going to tell them to get bent. Dear Lord, stop doing that. Because that's really hard on your relationships. It really is. The most important thing out of all of this is to really respect yourself enough to create firm boundaries that give you a steady feeling within yourself. You know what's important. You know who you want to be tomorrow, who you want to be next week, who you want to be next year. You know how you are going to approach things based on your value system and what's actually important to you. And you are completely and totally and absolutely accepting that you deserve more. You don't deserve to be treated like a doormat. You don't deserve to be disrespected. You don't deserve to be everybody's favorite punching bag emotionally. You don't deserve any of that. What you do deserve is to be treated with respect and kindness and dignity. And the only way to get that is to know your boundaries really clearly and to absolutely hold firm to what's truly important to you. And to stop people pleasing. I mean, really, honestly, you have to stop doing things to make everybody else happy and start doing things to make yourself happy. It's so, so important. So important. We could talk all day about why, but I'm just kind of teasing you here with why it is important. Okay, why is more inside the inner circle, inside one of my programs. Definitely, we do all the why stuff there. The next thing I want to talk about is your lizard brain, that little inner child, the demon and the angel on your shoulders that are yammering away at you, because they're exhausting, right? Your inner conversation is so, so, so important in all of this, because if your inner conversation isn't kind and helpful, the outer conversations that you have with other people are not going to be kind and helpful either, because you're not coming from a place of confidence, of certainty that you deserve these things, and that their energy is going to meet your energy. and your energy is wish-washy and all over the place. We were already talking about it. Today you're going to do it. Tomorrow you're not going to do it. Day after that, you're going to like pick a fight about it. Maybe you'll do it and resent the bejesus out of them. Because of that, people don't respect you as much as they would if your inner conversation was more kind, more assertive, more confident. And the way to do that is really honestly becoming aware of it. And then I do have some tools in the inner circle and in some of the other things that we talk about, how to make those inner conversations positive instead of negative, because the inner conversation is so important. Like I said earlier, we are our own best friend. So please act like it. You're the only person that you are going to talk to every single minute of every single day of your life. Even when you're asleep, even if you are knocked out unconscious, your subconscious still chattering away. You need to take care of it. You need to redirect those conversations so that they are kind, so that they are helpful, and so that they don't push you into feeling even worse and worse and worse about yourself. The only thing that you can control, this is a really big one. The only thing that you can actually control, and I've said that about 14 things, but the only thing you control is yourself. You cannot control anyone else. This is a huge learning curve for a lot of people, that they cannot control anyone else, not even that toddler, not even the infant. You cannot control a single other human being on the planet, not truly. You might be able to coerce them or guilt them or make them feel bad or threaten them or use one of the control dramas to try and maneuver things to get the way you want. Barf, by the way, stop doing that. But really, honestly, the only thing you actually have control over is this right here. You. This right here. You. So please be kind to yourself and make sure that you are changing your bad habits into good ones. That anytime you hear that inner voice saying something chirpy, that you are turning it into a positive, that you are redirecting yourself, that you are using PATH. I've talked about PATH a lot of times. It is one of the basic building blocks of everything that I teach. Permission, acceptance, forgiveness, release. So incredibly important. I find more and more and more uses for PATH every day that I do this work. It is so incredibly important. Now, Naomi Judd once said something that was really important and really stuck with me. Your body hears everything that your mind says. Isn't it time that you made your mind say nice things instead of shitty things? Kindness always wins. Always. Kindness within yourself, kindness with other people. Kindness truly, truly works, but only if you absolutely let it. Now, I'm going to talk about communication for a minute here because it's really one of the critical pieces to having good, clear boundaries. And it's really about, this is probably the scariest step out of all of them. People are like, oh my God, you don't actually want me to talk and tell people, do you? Yes, I do. But I want you to start small. I don't want you to, start with the most important person and the most terrifying conversation that you'll ever have in your life. I want you to start with people that you don't really care about, the grocery store clerk, or your kid's teacher, or the postman, or somebody that you don't see all the time. And it doesn't matter whether they like you or not. Because that is the absolute basic reason why everyone has shitty boundaries is because they want to be liked. They want to be loved. They don't understand that people like and love you a lot more when you actually have good boundaries and you know what your values are and you're not wishy-washy and you're not flopping from day to day of I'll do that for you, I'll do that for you and resent you. I won't do that for you. I'll do a shitty job of that thing. I'm going to say that I'll do it and then I won't actually do it. I'm going to be passive aggressive. Oh my God. None of that is helpful. And none of that actually serves either you or the other person. So please knock it off. I love you. Please knock it off. At the end of the day, we have to teach other people how we want to be treated and what our boundaries are. It's not up to them to know what our boundaries are. It's up to us to know what our boundaries are and to teach other people. They don't know. How could they possibly? How could they possibly know what your boundaries are? They couldn't. There's no way for them to know that. So let's teach them gently and kindly how we want to be treated and what is important to us and what is not important to us. And if you don't know, come join the inner circle or work with me in some way because honestly, this stuff is so incredibly important. You know, at the end of the day, being able to communicate our needs and wants in a way that is effective and helpful and gives people a reason to want to do it is so incredibly important. It really, really is. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is reconnecting with yourself because I see this so often in people that don't have good boundaries and don't feel like they are respected or loved or cared for. They're not connected with themselves. They are not treating themselves as if they were their own best friend. They are not doing kind little things for themselves. They are not showering themselves with love. No one else is going to shower you with love. I hate to break it to you, but you're it. Shower yourself with some love, please. Treat yourself the way that you deserve to be treated. Treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you. And let me tell you, when you do that, you are building that self love muscle. You are building that self confidence muscle. You are building that self esteem muscle. You are valuing yourself and giving yourself worth. And when you do that, even just with little teeny tiny things, it really, truly makes a difference. Now, maybe your little teeny tiny thing is spending 20 minutes every day reading a book. Maybe it is making sure that you meditate every day. Maybe it is playing on social media or playing on your phone or doing something fun. I don't know what your thing is. You know what your thing is. Whatever it is that's really truly going to make you happy that you don't give yourself permission to do. Go do it. If it's something that you haven't done in 20 years, do it anyways. If it's something that you absolutely couldn't imagine not doing, but you rarely give yourself permission, give yourself flipping permission. What are you waiting for? What are you scared is going to happen if you don't give yourself permission? What are you scared of is going to happen if you do give yourself permission? There's a better question. What is the worst that could happen if you give yourself permission to do something? I'll tell you what, not flipping much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this stuff is hard. I gave you a whole list of homework here. And how do we actually do these things? How do we actually implement all of the changes that we know we need to make in our life? Hi! Kitty cat is beating the bejesus out of my carpet. Stop it, Churro. Hey, stop it. By hiring someone like me. If it's not me, that's perfect. Go find someone who can. Go find yourself a coach or a mentor who can, or a healer who can absolutely transform your life. Now, I am all three of those things. I am a coach, I am a mentor, I am a healer. I do all of those things. Find someone like me who can give you the tools and who can give you the one-on-one support or the group support to make the changes that you want to make. Now, here's a little secret for you. You are most like the 5 people that you spend the most time with in your life. So, who are you spending time with? Who are you around the most often? Who should you be around the most often? You should be around people who are supporting you and pulling you up and calling you on your shit and in a loving, gentle way and celebrating your wins with you. People who are your tribe, your group, your new best friends, the people who get you, the people who are doing the same journey as you, who are transforming their lives too. Doesn't that sound amazing? That sounded amazing to me 4 or 5 years ago when I first started this journey. It really did. And I remember hiring my first coach and being a little nervous and intimidated about it. And I got the most amazing results when it came to my confidence levels, when it came to my ability to speak my truth. Um, at the end of the day, she runs through an exercise all the time, and it is her most favorite exercise. And at the end of it, it's like what's the worst that could happen, right? And at the end of it, you always die. And she's like, now is that really going to happen? And you're like, well, no. She's like, so why are we worried about this? What is going on? And that was such a key ingredient in me realizing that I wanted to up level my life. And I have been learning and growing and changing since then. And I freaking love my life now. I couldn't imagine living a life that is any less than the life that I'm living right now. And if you want that, you can have it too. You really can. You just need to allow yourself. You have to give yourself permission to tame that chaos, to claim your worth, to shift those inner conversations, to learn how to speak your truth, to know what's actually important to you and what's not really important to you. Because let's be honest, until you actually know what's truly important to you, you're going to stay stuck spinning. You're going to always be waffly, and everybody is going to be able to run over you, and you're going to resent them. And you're going to be passive aggressive and pull bullshit and feel bad about yourself, and you're going to hate your life. And that sucks. Please stop doing that. You deserve more. You deserve to take the leap from the lion's mouth and know that there is a path there, even if you can't see it right now. Take that little tiny leap, one little step, and go, oh, this wasn't so bad. This is a nice big wide path now that I'm seeing it. And then take the next step, and the next step, and the next step. And I promise you that the chasm that you think is down there is an inch of water, and it is not even a full step. But you have to take the step to know that. I promise you. Okay? On that note, thank you for listening to my little TED Talk today. I'm so glad that you are here. I am so incredibly grateful for every single one of you. If you need anything, please reach out to me. Go check out my website, tranquilitysoulspa.com. I would love to work with you. I would love to work with you on a coaching basis. I would love to work with you one-on-one with Vicky in our Heal Your Soul sessions. I would love, love, love to do past life regression therapy with you because I find that that is incredibly valuable for people. I would love to have you join us in the inner circle. Any one of those options is a fantastic way for you to transform your life. And truly, honestly, on the other side, you're going to freaking love it. I promise you. You are not going to hate it in the slightest. So, on that note, wherever you are in this big, beautiful, amazing rock that we call Earth, have a fantastic day. I will talk to you later. If you are in the Stressed Out to Blissed Out community, I'm running a couple minutes late. I will see you over there in about 30 seconds flat. And if you are in the inner circle, I will see you there in half an hour or so ish. We'll talk soon. Bye.